door hinges could definitely use some WD-40. Videos like this really had me believing even more that giants once existed. Who else would have locked that top latch? Yo, what is up all you good people out there, and welcome back for a brand new video. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Creepy and bizarre TikToks. With all that being said, let's get right back into it.
Bro, driving into the tornado is crazy. For those of you who don't know, there was like 10 tornadoes today. I had messages left and right on the video I posted previous to this one. And people were commenting like, bro, Iowa, Nebraska, just going through absolute hell with these tornadoes. I don't think we've seen this many tornadoes in one day in a long time. Now, I may be wrong, but as far as the documentation that I've been seeing on TikTok is absolutely through the roof. Like, all I really heard about was, you know, there was a tornado at the interstate of Nebraska and Omaha got like wrecked to pieces. But apparently it really affected Iowa as well. And guys, this is so crazy. Like, some of the people in the comment section were like, bro, nah, there's gotta be AI. Like, this is AI. That is the level of unbelievability. Is that even a word? Whatever, you know what I mean. That's the level of disbelief. That's what I'm trying to say. The level of disbelief people have for these tornadoes because they look unreal. God bless the people of Nebraska and Iowa. That shit looks insane, bro.
Man, I just hope everyone was okay, but yeah, Kansas and Oklahoma are known for having some of the worst tornadoes. I believe that movie Twister was even filmed in Oklahoma, but yeah, these are some of the biggest tornadoes I've ever seen on video.
Y'all, what is going on in England? This is in the Bristol church in England, you guys. Why are there demonic faces? People with, are they mask or paint? But nonetheless, in a church, you guys, the Bristol Climate Choir, do y'all hear what they're talking about? They're basically talking about the climate that they haven't told their children that they didn't try. Check this. Look at that, yo. Y'all saw that? Look at this lady, y'all. Nah. So yeah, I mean, we're literally in the end of days because, you know, people have renounced Jesus. They don't believe in God. They don't believe in none of this. So they believe in Satan now. Y'all see what's going on. You guys see this? This is crazy. Welcome to the apocalypse, y'all.
I wouldn't even call that a church, to be honest with you. I mean, what in the world? But I believe this guy's right. I think it's some kind of climate action group that's protesting for the environment. Now, protesting for a better environment, I'm all for that. But yeah, something about this just doesn't feel right.
Something crazy happened to Lady Gaga at a concert. Check this out. In this song called Judas, she claims to be in love with the disciple who betrayed Jesus. She openly mocks repentance, saying that in a biblical sense, she's too far gone, and that Judas is actually the demon that she clings to. And then this happens. This pole slams on her head, forces her to shut down the concert, giving her a concussion. She openly mocks the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And the Bible says God will not be mocked.
When you go around mocking the great Lord, what else do you expect? This was way overdue for Lady Gaga. Hopefully she got the warning, but yeah, I highly doubt it.
For those who are going to freak out the unfinished pyramid on the dollar bill, what it really means, this idea of rebuilding the ancient world, but it ended up becoming corrupted. So look at America as an example. The first 17 presidents or so are all Freemasons. They create Washington, D.C. to be like a sacred geometry design, like a pentagram, and you have all this stuff. It's woven into the designs because they know that that creates an energetic type of effect because they know things, okay? They're like part of that last bit of knowledge that's carrying from those groups. I actually think the Freemasons are the only group left. And they saw this idea, that idea of rebuilding that ancient world again. That's why there's so many places that have like sacred geometry and interesting stuff with those individuals. But imagine after the presidents stopped being Freemasons, because at some point after like 16th or 17th president, there's no more Freemasons anymore. I think that that's what happened, is that it was inherently trying to be built on those principles of like a new Atlantis or a new Athenian civilization.
Yeah, I hate to break it to this guy, but there's definitely some Freemasons that are still out there. I don't believe that I know any myself, but then again, I feel like these people keep it on the hush hush, you know?
This is not that person because their account is removed, but about 2 years ago, someone tried to save a bunch of tadpoles and put them in their little pond in their backyard and ended up causing an ecological disaster by breeding 1.4 million frogs, to the point where apparently some of their neighbors had to move because it was becoming invasive.
I remember Frog Army, dude. I kept up with his videos at the beginning, but I forgot all about him. And yeah, I don't blame his neighbors for moving either. I'd probably do the same thing.
Come to Sun Valley Mall, where you'll see this place. Back in the 80s, a plane fell through the window during Christmas and landed right on top of Santa's grotto, killing and maiming a lot of people.
Yeah, the Sun Valley Mall, when it comes to shopping, is one place that I would stay far away from. If you don't know the dark history behind that mall, then you should definitely look into it. There are tons of articles out there about that mall being haunted.
Do you see a red can there? Some of you will, some won't, but there are no red pixels on your screen. If you do a screenshot and zoom in, you will get this. It is black and white and teal. But if you zoom back out, some of you will go right back to seeing a red Coca-Cola can. Psychologist Akiyoshi Katoka likes to post these on social media. Here's another one. Just to point out that you do not see color with your eyes, you see color with your brain. I have found that you can kind of break the illusion if you just hold an actual red object up to it. The red will seem to disappear. But take it away and your brain will start to fill in red again. But as far as I can tell, no amount of squinting or distance will make this appear to be red because the context is lost. This one is probably the weirdest of all of them for me. There are, again, 0 red pixels on your screen right now. But this one actually stays kind of red for me even when zoomed in a little bit, especially if you pull your phone or your screen pretty far from your face. But get in close enough and it is just black and white and teal again. Exact same image. Every single thing you've seen in your entire life is a little bit of a lie.
I definitely could see the red in the Coca-Cola can, but I don't know about the strawberries. They just kind of look like blue and teal, but it's amazing how our brain can work with such complexity.
Type in Kensington, Philadelphia. That's all you have to type in, hit search. It truly looks like something from The Walking Dead. When we got to that block, it was exactly what we saw on social media. It was people walking around, slumped over, half asleep, dragging their knuckles on the ground while walking. One of the very first things that I noticed was everybody had these like ace bandages on their arms and on their legs. Some people were in wheelchairs because they couldn't move anymore, but they were young. And it's because they're injecting this substance and they wake up the next day and a random part of their body is rotting. And that's not enough for people to say no, because when they go to the detox or when they go to the hospital and ask for help, there's no protocols for this yet. It hasn't even been developed. They don't know how to detox somebody from this substance. They don't know how to reverse an overdose from this substance. It is a brand new trend that is coming that we need to be prepared for, and it's killing people.
Yo, he's not wrong. It does look like something straight out of The Walking Dead. People need to know, man. They're putting this crap in everything these days. You would think rotting the skin would be enough to make people quit, but when that drug demon gets a hold of you, it's a whole nother ball game.
You say that aging is a mistake.
Well, you know, when I was researching this book, I found that we have some real misconceptions about the aging process. For example, almost everybody believes that aging is fatal. But you look at the data and you'll find nobody really dies of old age. They die of diseases. Everybody believes that aging is irreversible. Now, that's also a misconception, because if you remove toxins from your body, if you learn to get the stress out of your life through meditation, if you change your environment, you can actually reverse the biological markers of aging. Like most people think aging is normal, but what's normal? Perhaps we are confusing the normal with the psychopathology of the average, which is dull and uninteresting. I mean, there are people who are 25 and look 40 and behave like 40. There are people who are 60 and behave and have the biology of a person who's 30. Most people think aging is universal, but there are organisms in this world that never age.
Hey, anything's possible. Our minds are a very powerful tool. If you think you're getting old, your mind might actually make it happen. Not getting enough sleep and having too much stress in your life, those are two things that will definitely make you age faster.
Let me take a picture. Oh, look at this thing. It's like a sailfish. No, this is like a... I don't know what that is. Sailfish. Yeah. That's cool. Don't worry. What is that? Got some gnarly teeth on it. Oh, jeez. Holy that thing.
What is that thing? Oh my God. Take a picture. That's really rare. I know what that is. Take a picture.
Bring it in. Yeah. Just be careful. I don't know.
Let me take a picture.
Oh, look at this thing. It's like a sailfish. The teeth scare me. Okay. Look at this.
Whoa.
That's sick. Hold it. You're trying to get me. Here, I'll hold this up.
I like the background Jeff just really.
Jeff's on a tuna, no one cares. Alright, let him go. Dude, that's a gnarly. See you later, bud.
That poor fish was trying so hard just to breathe. I believe this is called a lancet fish, but I might be wrong. Never actually seen a video of one, so this is pretty cool.
Here are the 5 deadliest film sets ever. Number 5, The Wizard of Oz. Yes, the snow was asbestos. Everyone knows that. But did you know the actors that played the Munchkins were extremely gropey and alcoholics? In fact, they borderline SA'd Judy Garland several times. The actress playing the witch caught fire during a scene and suffered severe and permanent burns. And Judy Garland was forced onto a diet of amphetamines and cigarettes so she would stay slim for the role. Also, the actor who played Toto the dog was paid more than any one of the Munchkins. Number 4, The Omen. Basically, the production was haunted. The crew's plane was struck by lightning 3 times. 2 locations they visited were bombed by the IRA. And the special effects consultant John Richardson was in a car crash that killed his passenger, and when he got out of the car, he had crashed by a sign that said Omen 66.6, and it was Friday the 13th. Ooh. Number 3, The Conqueror and How It Killed 46 members of the crew. This film is a bit dated, you can tell because John Wayne depicted a Mongol chief like this, but this film was shot downwind from a nuclear testing site. The director, the crew, and the key actors all developed cancer, which resulted in 46 early deaths. It was so bad that John Wayne's children visited the set for a single day, saw their dad in yellowface, and then both developed cancer, like immediately. Number 2, Raw. This movie was shot with 150 untrained lions, tigers, and other predators. Of course, there were many incidents. Tippi Hedren was bitten by a lion, needing 38 stitches. Melanie Griffith had her face mauled, needing 50 stitches. And the cinematographer was scalped by a lion. Before number 1, real quick, if you like fucked up shit like this, please drop me a follow. It really helps me out. Thank you. So number 1, the catastrophic Noah's Ark. The director was completely inexperienced in filmmaking. Regardless, he was given a huge budget and told to make something big. So when it came to the big flood scene in Noah's Ark, he said no to using miniatures, which is the standard for doing big set pieces like this. Instead, he said fuck it and used 600,000 gallons of water. 3 extras drowned during the filming, another one needed their leg amputated, and dozens of others suffered broken bones and various injuries.
Come on now, I'm surprised one of my favorite movies of all time, The Crow starring Brandon Lee, didn't make this list. Rest in peace, Brandon Lee. And you can't forget about the Twilight Zone movie. I mean, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there was 3 people decapitated on the set of that.
Conspiracy time. I believe that some very heavily guarded secrets are located inside state and national parks. Hear me out. So I'm a supervisor at a state park. I have keys to almost every building. I have access code to almost every gate. I have access to places in the park that staff aren't allowed to go, and I have access to the park where general public is not allowed to go. You cannot fly drones over top this park, as well as many other parks. There is a very heavy undercover presence here, and I know that for a fact. There has been numerous times where large portions of the park were shut down due to archaeological reasons. And there has been numerous instances where certain parking lots were completely shut down and filled with National Guard and military vehicles. There are animals back here that are not supposed to be here. Like last year, I actually saw a lemur in the state park in Florida. There are reports of exotic animals that are not supposed to be here. When they're reported to us, we are told to tell them that is because there is exotic breeders just outside the park and sometimes those animals get out. Is that true? I don't know. But going down the rabbit hole in the state parks and out in the wilderness, there have been reports of staircases. Just random staircases out in the forest. Yeah, staircases. Leading to nowhere. Look it up. So yeah, I believe that there's things being hidden back here that they don't want us to know about. What are your thoughts?
Oh yeah, I 100% believe that there is something they're covering up at Yellowstone and even the Grand Canyon, all these national parks, you guys. But yeah, I've always believed if it's something that's owned by the government, in my eyes, it's automatically suspicious.
I was at a party at Diddy Crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean? Diddy had put everybody else out the crib. Like the influx of people, he had put him out, but he had took a liking to me in particular around the time, man. It was really, you know what I mean, like putting his arm around me. Right. So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in there. Me and maybe about 15 others. Right. Jay-Z and Beyonce being, two of the other 15 people in the room. So that'll just put it into perspective of the type of company I was in at the moment,
I would not have even went to the party to begin with. You could tell by the man's stutter, he either did something or something happened to him. People have been dropping hints about Diddy for years, but nobody really paid attention.
Okay, Blob Theory in under 60 seconds. If you don't know what the Blob is, check out my recent videos on the Blob. This looks like a blob too, and it follows a magnetic force. When dispersed into nanoparticles, the magnetic force gathers the particles into a blob. We know the blob appeared from a fault line area because there's a mysterious island down there. See my video on that. This ferrofluid contains nanoparticles of iron. Well, what if something is leaking from the fault with nanoparticles of iron and a magnetic force is gathering it and pulling it to the north? Even how the ferrofluid dissipates and breaks up as the magnetic force pulls away is just like the behavior of the blob. Yes, Ventusky came out and said it was a glitch, a model error, but many people aren't buying this. Right by Cape Town, South Africa, there was freaky weather happening, as well as radar weather going down in the US and other strange weather anomalies. See my past videos for that. That's where I'm at with the blob.
This is a very interesting but logical theory. I can understand a glitch happening like once, but 4 times, something's not adding up there.
Dollar Tree closing 600 stores this year. CVS closing 900 stores through the end of this year. Walgreens closing 150 stores. Outback Steakhouse has already closed 40 of its restaurants. UPS is cutting 12,000 jobs in 2024. Citigroup cutting 20,000 positions as well. eBay, why not? 1,000 jobs lost there. Microsoft cutting 1,900 positions. Expedia cutting 1,500. Cisco cutting 4,000. Apple cutting 600. It's entertainment too. Regal Cinemas closing 429 locations. Kroger's grocery store chain shutting down 413 stores. It's not affordable to be in retail anymore. Foot Locker closing 400 stores by 2026. Macy's will close 150 locations by 2026. Walmart, already this year, has closed 6 of its supercenters. While the U.S. Senate has passed nearly $100 billion to send to other countries that Joe Biden just signed yesterday, most can't even find Ukraine or Israel on a freaking map. let alone Taiwan. We're paying money that we don't have as our economy goes down the toilet and American jobs die. Of course, we know we're going to ban TikTok so nobody can talk about it freely.
I feel like this is only the beginning. And then you got Biden over here gaslighting us by saying the economy is doing better than ever. Yeah, I don't really see that. But when you really sit back and think about it, Amazon's been putting retail out of business for the past few years now, so it's nothing really new.
I'm having a 1,000,000% freak out at this dumpster right now. This one is from 1941 when Pearl Harbor was bombed. This is from 1963 when Kennedy was buried. This one's 1941. This one is 1941. Hawaii bombed. Oh my God, it's from World War II. Holy shit. Somebody, I mean, I can't believe this. Somebody must have died. They had all these newspapers saved from historical events, and they are in the trash. I can't believe I just found them. There's a whole box. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my God. I am shaking. I am literally shaking. Holy shit. 1965 astronaut walks on the moon. Are you what is this one? Is this the moon? Whites walk in space. June 8th, 1965. Holy shit, you guys. Oh, what's in this one? What's in this one? I feel like this one's really old. When is this one from? Where's the date? Where's the date? Hang on.
If these newspapers are real, then that's pretty awesome, I admit that. But more than likely, these are just reprints that got sold as souvenirs. I actually really enjoy watching some of these dumpster diving videos. Like, you would be shocked at some of the stuff that these people find. Alright, my good people, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up here. Really hope you guys enjoyed the content as always. And if you did, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for your boy. And one last thing, but don't be a stranger, you guys. Make sure to let me know all your thoughts about this one down there in that comment section.